I definitely want to get a new webcam just because it'll be fun. Okay, let's get started. We weren't really planning to be here quite this early. Did you all get an email? Trade room email? All three of you? Bear with me. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus. We're here for building permits, market opens. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director for 10 Minute Trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. Okay, I wanted to listen to this story about a electric vehicles that are selling in the UK. See, the UK does allow Chinese vehicles to be imported. The US does not allow Chinese vehicles to be imported because the Chinese vehicles are so much better than ours and so much cheaper that they will not be able to compete. The US car makers will just get crushed. So it's a big issue, whether you should be fair, not be fair. I thought that capitalism means you compete on if you make a good product, then you survive. If you make a crappy product, then you don't survive. But then there's the whole other issue of jobs. Should we protect industries where they make worse quality products than other countries? It's very complicated. It's not simple to just say, well, this is what you should do when your neighbor is depending upon GM to make money, right? I'm not talking Tesla. Tesla is unique because he's a billionaire and he can buy his way into anywhere. But more talking about what's the name of the Chinese company? Is it YBD? No, they should allow US cars also. It's not fair. I'm not saying it's fair on either side. It's not fair on either side. I'm surprised that they don't allow our cars because their cars are perfectly fine. It's so complicated. Some issues you just can't say that this is the way it is and that's that because it's not that way. It's much more complicated. Other issues are quite simple. You know, other issues are simple. Killing people on the streets, that's a simple issue. No accountability, those are simple issues. Corruption, simple issues. But there are other issues that are more complicated. It's not going to matter, and I'll show you why it's not going to matter. We are living in Interstellar. If you've seen the movie Interstellar, here's what the sun looks like in my yard. And it's a little bit hard to tell, but basically, there's no sun. And it's because smoke, fire. If you've ever seen the movie Interstellar, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm watching gold because we have a report building permits and housing starts with trade balance. It's like it is trade balance also. And that will move the market possibly. But these are not consistent reports. These are not reports that we really trade anymore. There are some reports that over the years we have tried trading them and never, ever found a successful setup. Building permits fits that bill. Trade balance, we never really traded. It just was not one of those reports that years ago moved the needle. Um, it usually does not trade by itself, but it has been a report that does not move the needle much. So now I have to say, just give people a heads up. I've been forgetting that I've been streaming. So yesterday, yesterday, we left the trade room. I'm trying to think. Yesterday was a really long day. Natural gas, we had no data. It was just a really difficult day, also. It was a long day. It was retail sales, but it was a good day. Mostly, it was a good day. We made money on the reports we thought we would make money on. And when we were done, we left, and I completely forgot that I was streaming. And I left the stream on probably for about maybe an hour after. So, I mean, thankfully, I don't do crazy things in my office that would be filmed and put on the internet. But I realized like an hour after we were done, I was still streaming. That sun is fires from Canada, Calvin. That's what's causing that. I I'm watching one of my daughter's dogs. I could not barely take the dog for a walk yesterday. The air was so foul. You couldn't breathe outside. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It made me nauseous. And we've had this a few times last summer also with the fires. Just put the damn fires out. Hire some firefighters. Put the fires out. What's the problem? Anyway, so are you going to trade building permits, housing starts, and import and export prices, which theoretically is trade balance, but the full trade balance is not there. It's just doing import and export prices. So I would consider, well, first of all, the gold open is at 820. The gold open has been completely inconsistent. So I'm not willing to blow up an account on building permits and the gold open. I'm just not. I don't want to blow up an account on that kind of reports. They're not great opportunities, but we're here. I thought maybe we'd start early today. It's the last day of the week. There's a lot of volatility in the markets. Um, I want to watch signals. So I thought we'd come a little bit early, look at building permits and housing starts. So I'll trade it with micro gold. I'm always willing to take a trade with micro gold because it's $1 a tick. Now, this morning, I did not have a trade room for Travelers Insurance, and I'll tell you why. They were due out at 6:55, and Langford was really after me. Have a trade. He didn't tell me to have a trade room, but he was telling me Travelers, 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 and he's the one that found Travelers originally. And very honestly, we've had a trade room for it before, and it's been so-so. But over the past 3 quarters, it's been lousy. So I didn't have the trade room. And it was a very good move this morning, but they're always 2 minutes late. So next quarter, we'll do Travelers and we'll do the entry time at 57, 5 seconds before 57 instead of 55, because every quarter they release 2 minutes late. Why? It makes no sense. but that's what they do. And that was the other reason I didn't want to have the trade room. I did not totally trust the release time. So, how do you trade building permits, housing starts when 90% of the time it doesn't trade by itself? I've got videos of building permits and housing starts, but I don't have a single video over the past 4 or 5 months where it traded by itself. So, you can go back to an old DMM, all right? And I mean, you got to go back. I almost got to go back to a 2022 DMM. That doesn't make any sense. And it traded not too bad. It had 3 winners out of 6, one stop, 4 winners out of 6. So there's been a time, but when you look at the moves, they were very small. 20 ticks on gold. That's nothing. Today, that's not even a move. That's not even a bracket. So I don't have much optimism that this report is worth giving back my travelers' profits. I would not do this in a funded account under any circumstances. I do believe if you stick with the concept of really trading the best performers in your funded accounts, you'll get a payout. If you mix your funded account with high risk and low risk, then you'll never get a payout because you'll get close and then you'll blow it. You'll get close and then you'll blow it. So if you want to get a payout and you're in a funded account, start really controlling what you trade in the funded account, or you're just not going to get a payout. It's that simple. Now, I gotta say, it is interesting. We did Trainer's Corner yesterday, and I'm not going to say the guy's name, but the guy that came after me, presented after me, he had a system. 3-day evaluations, 1 day evaluation passes, 3 days to payouts. But the catch was you had to have 10 accounts. So it seems like there are two types of prop traders, companies, mentors. Mentors that require like 10 to 40 accounts, otherwise you can't win. And then possibly people like us that are just trying to do normal trading with maybe 2 to 5 accounts. 5 is more than most people need. But I don't want 10 accounts, and I don't want to use, maybe I'm being foolish. I'm not that into trade copiers at the moment. I understand the concepts of what you're going to do. I think there's just different approaches. So 820, we have the gold open. I'm going to try the gold open with micro gold. I'm going to put a quick breakout on 819.59, a 20 bracket, and I'm just trading 2 positions. One contract, position 1, one contract, position 2. Target 1, 15, target 2, 50. I'll use a 40 tick stop. That's $40 per contract roughly. If it hits the first target, I will go to break even. So I'll trigger at 819.59 because the gold open is at 820. And if it doesn't fill fairly quickly, I'll probably cancel it. and I'll label it GC Breakout, and I'll trade it in my funded account that made a little bit of money this morning. All right. It made $225. Now, I did want to check the bracket.
Order submitted. Order
It's a
canceled.
little big. We'll shrink it down. We'll go back, highlight the breakout, put the time back to 8:19. All right. And this is just a test because the gold open, we know it's inconsistent, but I happen to be here. Why not give it a shot? I mean, why not trade it? We know it's inconsistent. This is not a regular trade that I would get up for. It's not been trading well enough. But if I'm here, I'll give it a shot because we know the market can move on the gold open. And then I'll set up a similar trade for 8:30 for the news. I'm watching the MNQ. MNQ moves on 8:30 news usually. And I'm looking at magnets. So I'm setting up um, a charity section on our website. I think after all these years of being in business, we should give something back. So I'm going to put 3 charities on our website. One for animals, one for food, people that need food, and one for music. Because I'm a musician and they're cutting music programs all over the country. Um, I know someone that has a fantastic nonprofit called Keep Music Alive. So keep an eye open for changes on our website. I'm going to add these charities. And you'll be able, you have a great week, donate to charity. That's the way I look at it. You get a payout, donate to charity. Okay, Calvin, do that. All right, so 8:20, gold open. Gold really choppy overnight. I looked at a higher time frame chart. Gold can go any direction this morning. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn our signal system into a fully automated robot.
Order submitted.
That's my new project. All right, gold open. Not much of a. It looks like it's going to push
Order
down.
submitted.
Now
Spent 10
just give me
minutes time
10
now at
ticks
the
and I'd
bottom
be
of the hour
happy.
to get the
Don't
US
do
Eurobond prices month over month for June.
a total
Forecast
change in
-0.7%
direction.
on
Give me
spot,
10
1 spot
ticks.
9%. Export prices month over month.
That's all I
Forecast
want.
Order filled.
Got our
0.0% on
10
the prior,
ticks.
1
I'll
spot 3%.
I'll
We also get the US
trail
housing
and I'll
starts data
expand
for
my
June.
target.
Forecast 1 spot
If
31
it
million
pulls
on the
back,
prior 1 spot
no
177
problem.
million. And the change
I'm
forecast at
protecting
11 spot
profit.
2%
Now
on the
my
prior
target,
-15 spot 4%.
my stop
US
is at
building
my
permits
first
for
target.
June.
So
Forecast 1 spot
it's like I have 2
403 million on the
contracts
prior 1 spot
at
41
target
million.
1
And
if
the
I get
change month
taken
over
out.
month is forecast at
If it
0.1%
breaks
from
the
the prior
wick, I'll
-0.9%.
trail more. Otherwise, I'll get taken out. I like to use break the wick, meaning go through the wick in the direction of the trade to add to my trail, to trail more. Okay? Now we just got a short signal VWAP, so maybe we'll get a little push down. Momentum's again, just went on our side. It didn't break the wick. Break the wick. It tied the wick. It broke the wick by 1 tick. So I'll trail 1 tick. Break the wick by a tick. So there's a new show on TV that I'm actually very interested in. I'll tell you why as I'm trading this. It's called the Westies. And I love mob stuff. I just enjoy it. But one of the first shows ever on HBO that was a series before The Sopranos, before all the big popular shows, was a show called Oz. Oz, I always thought was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. It was pretty intense because it was a prison drama. And what's interesting about it, two really famous people were in Oz. Both of those people are insurance
Order filled.
company. There we are. We got taken out after trailing. Insurance company salespersons. If you watch TV a little bit and you see the guy, the Mayhem insurance guy, who's always getting like hit by cars and stuff, well, he was in Oz. And then I think the guy, I can't remember what company, Progressive or whatever, but he's a star in Westies. And he was in Oz. And he was the meanest MF you could ever imagine. He's an amazing actor. He's become a shell of an actor because he's made so much money doing commercials. But that's why I was interested in Westies, because this guy who was unbelievable in Oz as an actor, he's in this show Westies. And I just thought it would be a lot of fun. Anyway, 8:30 now. So we caught a gold move on the open, and it was okay. It was an all right trade. With micros, we made like 50 bucks, and I left a little bit on the table because it reversed on me. So now, if you think gold might respond to the news, which I think it could, then we could set up a breakout, but I want to cancel it if it doesn't have a good response. So I am going to use a bracket of 25. I'm going to trigger at 829.58. 25 bracket, 15 target. It's not going to move 50 ticks on this move, I don't believe. I'll use a 40 tick second target. To stop, I'll keep it 40. Remember, we're micros, $1 a tick. And if it hits the first target, I'll go to break even. Everything's already labeled. We'll call it GC breakout. That's fine. I will check my bracket by setting the first two numbers on the time to 0. Apply, put the charts on sim. I've been up all night. I could not
In
sleep.
5 minutes time now.
Been
at
up
the
since
bottom of
like
the
3
hour,
in the
zero
morning,
is the US
scrolling,
import prices month over month for June.
calling the
Forecast
bank,
minus 0 spot 7% on the prior 1
doing
spot 9%.
BS.
Export prices forecast minus 0
I
spot
could not
7%
sleep.
on the
But
prior
now
1
I'm
spot
feeling a little
3%.
bit tired.
We also get the US housing starts data for June, forecast at 1
It's
spot
been a
31 million
stressful
on the
week.
prior 1 spot
I
177
feel
million.
like it's been a long, difficult
Housing
week.
starts change month over month,
These markets,
forecast
they're hard.
11.2% on the prior
They're
minus
stressful.
15.4%.
Order
US
submitted.
Okay,
building
there's
permits
our
for June,
bracket.
forecast 1 spot
There's our
403
bracket.
million on the prior
Order
I've
1 spot
definitely been
canceled.
having
401
trouble
million.
talking
US
all week.
building permits change,
There's our
forecast minus
bracket.
0,
All right.
excuse me, forecast 0 spot 1% on the prior
Highlight the
minus 0
breakout.
spot
Put the
9%.
time back to 829.58. We can shrink our bracket a tiny bit. 25 on the bracket. Targets of 15 and 40 with a stop of 40 on micro gold and a target one stop move of break even. Instead of using target one stop move, you can trail. You could turn trailing on, right? If you scroll up, trailing stop method, tick for tick is what I use. Number of trailing ticks would be 1. And then the mode, you would turn it on. If you want trailing to start the second you have a positive trade, then you turn it on. If you want trailing to start after you hit your first target, then you choose start at target 1. Okay? Nothing wrong with using trailing at all. Now, Langford was asking for a change in the trailing, an addition. So I've got to look at his notes. Now, if you think the MNQ is going to move on this report or the NQ, you can put a breakout on 829.58. I'd use a bracket of 35-ish. Let's say we would just do, I'm not in, the targets don't matter. 20 on, the number of contracts doesn't matter. Let's say 20 and 50 and 100 on the stop with MNQ. We're just testing. Does a 35 bracket work on this? MNQ breakout. I'll put the time on 0 for a second. I'm only going to sim it on the MNQ. I have no idea how the MNQ will do on this report.
Order
We have not
submitted.
done
Order
much
canceled.
testing on this report for reasons that I said. Has not been a report that has been of much consequence over the years. But there's no reason not, if we're here, let's add the MNQ to our testing because that's part of our job. So we're testing a breakout on the MNQ. This is another instrument. And let's go for broke. You can watch the RTY. It doesn't take very much effort to watch the RTY on this report. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Trading micro gold.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with the US housing starts for June.
All right.
Ten seconds.
Okay, let's see if we get a fill. All right. I'm not going to
Order
wait
submitted.
around very long for a fill. If it doesn't
One
burst,
spot 427 million. One spot 427
So-
million
Order
higher than
submitted.
forecast. One
it
spot
looks
31
like it's going
million.
to push
The change at
down.
19% higher than forecast. 11.2%.
The
Moving firmers,
MNQ
one
moved
spot
a little
367
bit.
million, one spot
This is
367
not
million,
a
lower than
great
forecast, one spot
move for
403
gold
million.
on
The
this
change at
news.
-3%, which is lower than forecast.
I
at
don't
0.1%.
really
Whereas
want to
import
trade
prices
this.
month-over-month at
It's not a
0.3%,
big
0.3%,
news
higher
move.
than forecast,
Yes, gold might be
-0.7%,
pushing
and
down
export
because we're
prices
in
at
a push
-0.6%,
down.
-0.6%,
I'm canceling this. I
higher than
don't want
forecast,
a random long
-0.7%.
trade when it moves
Seeing some
short
prior revisions
first.
now. Housing starts
Order
revised
canceled.
All right.
to one
To
spot
me, that's not
199
a
million from
news
one spot
move.
177
The
million.
NQ
The
had a
change is
news
revised up to
move.
-15.3%
Gold did not.
from -15.4%.
Gold really did not have a big news move
Export
on that
prices
report.
revised up to 1.2%,
The RTY had a little news move,
and import prices
right?
revised down to 1.7% from 1.9%.
Not much. Not really anything you could trade. 14 ticks, that's an untradeable news move. Okay? Gold is just chopping around where it was. And you understand the MNQ is just negative on the morning. And I don't think there was a news move. There was a pretty mediocre fill 3/4 down the candle. So honestly, just not. It's not worth, this report's not worth trading. That's what this news tells us. Right? That's what this tells us. This is not really a tradable report. There's not much to trade. We're not crazy. You know, now the MNQ, it may hit the first target because the index is so negative. The market's terrible this week. All right. So not much happening. I'm just going to close out that sim trade on the MNQ. I think everyone would agree with me. This was not
Order filled.
tradable news. Now, look, gold was also on the negative side. I don't think it's the news that's making gold negative because it took more than 2 minutes for gold to even respond. Building permits and housing starts were mixed. That doesn't help create a move in one direction, right? I was thinking trap trade, but it wasn't a good trap trade. Gold's just moving down. Gold's moving down right now. I think gold this morning has the look of an instrument that wants to test the low. It's not nearly there yet, but it's starting to look. When I first got here, there was not much of a trend on gold. There is the other report today that doesn't affect the markets, which is a
Brent crude
mystery.
futures rising $2 per
Industrial
barrel on a
production,
new quarter in
manufacturing
hostilities.
production. We tried trading that for years. Does not move the markets. We don't even look at it anymore. All right. We can start getting our opens together, right? We've already got our RTY chart on. Let's put our reverse continue on the RTY. 35 target, 35 stop. That's what we do in the morning, most mornings. All right. Label it RTY reverse continue. And RTY, I trade funded every morning. I trade it funded every morning. I'm going to put the range trade. I'll put the magnet on RTY. I like to look at signals. Off unenabled, one position, 35 on the target. Label it RTY magnet. And same account. Everything is the same account on one chart. And then we'll put our RTY range trade on. I'll load the template for that. And the range trade, label it RTY range. Choose the account you're trading it on. Start the range at 925.00. 6 ticks above the range. 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart is checked. Go up to the top. Make sure you're on range trade or you won't be able to have a start range trade. Activate range end 930.00. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. This morning, I'm just going normal. 10 tick target 1, 20 tick target 2. BE on target 1 stop move, 25 on my stop. I usually try to manage my RTY trade because it is in my funded account. All right. Make sure chart trader you're on the right account. I'll turn the range trade on. I'll turn the magnet on. and the reverse continue. And I'll watch. We're watching the RTY. Putting the left chart, our gold chart, turn off all the gold trades, remove the gold breakout. Now, interestingly, yesterday morning, oil was a breakout for the first time all week, and it looked like it was a smallish breakout that would have worked. But we had a really, really good signal trade on oil yesterday. Has oil rolled? I did not get a message today that oil rolled. Oil is above 80. All right. If you look at it on a 15-minute chart, it's very bullish. No surprise there with what's going on in the world. I think oil's going to get to 100 before you know it. And the markets are going to be in big, big trouble. Okay, we have a gold breakout. I'm not trading the market open on oil. It's just not one of my trades. So we can remove that breakout. The middle chart is the YM. So we can certainly put that chart on YM. YM 0926. I think oil is probably a problem in terms of volume this morning. I'll show you what I mean. Show you what I mean. Because oil is very close. I believe oil is very close to rollover. So looking at this little template that we've created for oil, I'm going to put the current contract on there, and I'm going to put the future contract on there. CL9 is the new contract. CL8 is what we're trading. And we have rolled. Oil is rolled over. Okay? So you should be trading 9. And Ninja told us that. Remember, if you don't know the contract, you can type on your chart anywhere blank the prefix CL. Then look underneath for the future. CL future. Crude oil futures, double click it, and 9 times out of 10 it puts you on the chart with the correct contract. That's one way to make sure you're trading the correct contract. Now we'll change our micro gold setups to oil setups. We had a reverse continue. We'll put a couple of contracts, 30 target, 30 stop on oil. If we decide to take an oil scalp, it'll have some risk because it's 2 contracts, $10 a tick. CL reverse continue is the label. Apply it. And then I'm going to turn the oil magnet. It's not a gold magnet anymore. It's an oil magnet. I don't have a problem with the stop being 40. And I'm not trading the magnet. I'm trading the reverse continue. So I'm really just looking at the magnet for signals. But the position is 1. Default target is -3. And then label it CL magnet. And always choose the account you're trading in. So my oil chart is ready. Turn on your magnet. Turn on your reverse continue. And darn it, I might have taken that short. Hesitatingly because we're up $2, but like yesterday, oil made 1, 2, 3, 4 new highs. Now I'm not jumping in. I don't know where that signal was given, but let's say you didn't get in until the candle generated. It's only 4 ticks. This is not a trade that's there yet. It's got to move down. You're up over $2. Are you going to jump into shorts? A super low volume? No, you don't jump when you're up $2 and you just started looking at the instrument. Jumping, do you jump in a body of water when you don't know how deep it is? That's how you wind up like the governor of Texas in a wheelchair. You know, you jump in water without checking the depth. So it's no different than jumping into a trade when you just get to a chart. It's like the same, it's a good analogy. By the way, one of the greatest things in the world, Big Boy 4014. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Big Boy 4014? Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Without Googling it, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Big Boy. All you have to do is say is Big Boy. And if you're paying attention to life, you know what I'm talking about. If you're under a rock, you don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody? Are we all under a rock here? Come on. Anybody? Well, Big Boy 4014 is amazing. It's amazing. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is spectacular. Spectacular. Really spectacular. That's Big Boy 4014. It's the largest operating steam locomotive in the world today, and the only one still in operation. It was built in 1941 to carry freight over the Rockies during the war and Union Pacific. It was in Philly last week for the July 4th celebration. And I don't know what it is about trains, but a lot of people love trains. I love trains. I don't know why. No one in my family didn't like trains. No one cared about trains. I love trains. I love old steam engines. I always drag my kids to Lancaster, PA to ride the steam engine. There's an amazing restored steam engine in Lancaster, PA. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like a little baby version of Big Boy, but it's big. It's a real steam engine and it's beautiful. Anyway, thanks, Sheldon. What does that mean? That's cryptic. Don't know what that means. Watching oil. Who's Sheldon? Who is he? Big Bang. Is that a TV show? Oh, I never saw it. Never watched it. All right, you got me on that one. All right. Oil, that short might work. That short might work. Will it be very big? A big sell off? I don't think so. But right now, it is starting to work. figure, you got to figure a bad entry if you're going to check and see if it's working. I don't figure the best entry, I figure the worst entry. So right now, maybe you had about 10 ticks you could grab on that gold short, oil short, I mean. MNQ breakout, we don't need anymore. Our middle chart is the YM. So we need to redo our YM setups. Now, this morning, my YM magnets have been difficult for a couple of weeks. Let's do, maybe we'll do the YM range this morning. I'll teach it to everybody again. All right. We're going to convert our YM MNQs to YMs. We were trading the MNQ, remember, at 8:30. So we have a reverse continue, smaller target, 40, smaller stop, 40. So that's our YM. And the YM, label it YM reverse continue. Apply it. And then we'll change our YM magnet from an MNQ to a YM magnet. Just one contract, 40 stop. Remember, we're just looking at signals. Target 1, offset is -3. That's all you need to do really is change the stop and number of contracts and relabel it YM magnet. And now, no, let me think for a second. If we trade the YM magnet, usually when we really do trade it, I go for 2 positions, target 1, -3, and then today I would just go for like 10 ticks above and below the magnet. And we'll make a decision as we get closer to the open if we want to do magnets on the on the IBM, on the YM. I think my brain is going, folks. I think I've reached the end. I think it's over. Let's put our range trade on the IBM, on the YM. Francis, let's see what Francis is saying here. Time to bedrooms cover railway posters. Oh, that's fantastic, Francis. Wait, did your dad? Okay, he worked for the printer that printed the posters by Terence Cuneo, Cuneo, and he's now a famous artist, railroad artist. That's awesome. YM looks like it may want to test the low now. Do you want to let it? Are you going to put your trade in automatic for an early test? Volume is meager. Volume is meager. I'm not jumping yet. Not jumping yet. Now, YM range trade. Loading the template. I'm watching oil. Remember, oil opens at 9. See if there's any opportunity. YM open range. That's what we're looking for. Let's get rid of a million of these templates that are unnecessary. All right, YM open range. Right click, rename it. Today's date is the 17th. Load it. Remember, when you change a template and load it, it saves it before it loads it. Range start time, 9:25:00, 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Label the trade, YM range. Okay, put it on your trading chart. End the range, 930.00. Choose the number of positions and contracts you want to trade. Target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20, stop is 25. I'd probably use a 35 stop on the YM right now. And BE is my target 1 stop move, break even. You can use, and it is not a bad idea to use, the range as your stop. In other words, if you get filled long, then I would do the other side of the range as my stop. Gold 9 a.m. That one I'm not trading this morning. Too many setups. But I'm tempted. All right. So, looking at an extra chart. So if you make this a micro gold chart, like I said, and I'm not willing to blow up an account today. 826. Nitin, you think it's a range today, and you have a good argument for it because gold's been mostly negative on its behavior this morning. So it might be that the 9 o'clock gold trade is better as a breakout today. I said range, I meant breakout. I like the idea of a trap at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to look at a trap with micros. But I don't know if I'm trading it for real or just watching this morning. So I'm putting on a trap trade. 855, 859, 55, 30 on the stop. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Tier 1 35, tier 2 65. That's my trap. Trap MGC. One of the issues with this trade is you really need to wait. And it is interesting to do both. If you have, a variety of different prop accounts, you can do both. That's the fun of prop trading. It's rare to have 2 cash accounts for most people. So I'm just going to watch this in sim as a trap today. I don't honestly know enough about this particular setup to have a strong feeling about it. It's it's a trade that Nitin is trading, and honestly, Nitin's been doing great. So when Nitin talks, people listen. What was that commercial? The broker when Bear Stearns. It wasn't Bear Stearns. When Bear Stearns talks, people listen. But if you're getting payouts and you're designing your own trades, and E.F. Hutton, thank you, Frank. That's what it was. E.F. Hutton. But if you have great setups and want to share them. We'll test them. If we like the setup, we'll do some testing on it. totally mess it up and then introduce it to everybody. Ha. Oil went to R1. So it was a small controlled sell-off, right? A perfectly sensible sell-off. Enough to make about 15 ticks or so. And we don't generate signals at R1, but if we did, we would have had a long signal right now, a couple of ticks ago. So it's not unreasonable to take a oil long for a test of the high at the open. What do you think? I don't know that I want to do it with two contracts because I'll blow my account. I won't blow it, but it'll damage it. But I would consider it with one. It's a lot of risk with two on a kind of not the busiest morning if you're going to do it. Now, is this a good time to do it when you get a tiny pullback? Or do you wait for a green candle?
Order
It's
submitted.
not a very big stop, right? What's your stop going to be? Under the R1 by 4 or 5 ticks. Okay? Under R1, 4 or 5 ticks. Watching to see what happens with our trap. And then what's really going to affect that oil trade will be the open. Either it'll hit our target before the open. And look, I want to protect my
Order
money.
filled.
All right, look, am I the smartest trader that ever lived? What do you think? Am I the smartest trader that ever lived? Francis. That one we got right on the button. Right on the button. I mean, it was a good analysis. Sometimes I get it right. Yesterday, my scalps were terrible. So I'm done with oil, folks. I'm not trading oil again today. But I want to see what it does on the open. Here's the gold trap. All right. Here's the gold trap.
The effective Fed fund rate unchanged at 3.63% for July 16th.
And watch and see what oil does on the open. Are they going to fake all the newbies out and go short? Newbies are long because oil's up $2. So a newbie says, I'm going to go long at the gold open. Right before the gold open, I'm going long. That's what a newbie says. So they just went long, and it might work because it's very bullish. Some days you get it right. Now, why didn't my gold trade trigger? Because I didn't turn it on. So I did the same thing yesterday. Trap MGC not turned on. So I'm not going to trade it now because I missed the move. Let's watch it. This is our trade candle. It's not that big yet. Not that big yet. It's bigger than it looks. 50 ticks. Bigger than it looks. Anyone on YouTube? Now, if you were a newbie and you went long on oil, you're happy. Sometimes newbies get it right. The breakout worked today. We would have had a 20-25 bracket. It would have worked today. That doesn't mean we're going to start taking the breakout because we don't. Today it was a nice breakout. Yeah, the gold trap. It went down 50 and then it looks like it went up nicely. So I was just simming it. So I don't need that chart anymore. All right. I missed it. That happens. Not the end of the world. Darn it. Wasn't watching the YM. Didn't turn the magnet on. Remember? Said it looked like it was going to test the low. Now I'm aggravated. Now I am aggravated. Sander, now see, that's the point when you guys are you're not looking at all the setups I'm looking at. You're not the trade room moderator. You don't have to look at 5 setups. Sander is in his office looking at the YM and maybe another instrument, and he's trading intelligently and making money. And he saw the YM dropping and he took the magnet. How could you not love the magnet software? How do you not love it? If you're not trading the magnet software, I don't know. I don't know how you can even talk to me because I'm obsessed with it. I want to make it automatic. I want to make the signals automatic, but not 100%. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And if you have any features you want, mention them now because now's the time. So, first of all, I want it to look really good. If you get a signal, I want it to like explode in your face. There will be multiple modes. There will be a mode where if you get a signal, it'll automatically trade it. There will also be specific setups for different instruments because if it's a gold signal, your gold trade would not be the same as an MNQ trade. So there has to be configuration of the instrument that you trade. And then I want there to be a little button on the chart. Signal, take it, yes or no. You have to have a discretionary setup in a robot, I believe, so that you could use the robot and you can make the decision to enter. Or you could put it in robot mode and just let it trade. And then filtering has to come into play also. So that's what I'm thinking about. Crystal ball mode. I like the name. Tell me what you mean. Love it. What do you mean? I love that name, Alan. That's a great name for a strategy. The crystal ball strategy. Alan, am I going to have to buy that from you? Or can I steal it? Oh, I love that. That's great. It's clever.
In 10 minutes time now at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, see the release of
I
US
love that.
industrial productions data for the month of June. Month over month forecast 0.2% on the prior 0.1.
I'm going
Range
with
of
it.
0.6
I'm
to
stealing
minus
it, Alan.
0.3% expected.
We're going to call it crystal
Capacity
ball mode.
utilization forecast 76.2% expected to remain unchanged.
You know, Alan,
Manufacturing
a
output
young
month over month
person
forecast
doesn't know what
0.1%
that
from the
means.
prior 0%.
That's the
And
problem,
industrial
right?
production year over year saw a
Old
primary
people
slump
know what
of
it means
6-7%.
because, like, we know Three Stooges had crystal balls and they had, wizards. And I guess young people know wizards. Does Harry Potter have crystal balls? That didn't sound the way I wanted it to. Does Harry Potter have crystal balls? Sorry. Oh, all right. We missed the YM trade, but Sander didn't because I wasn't watching. I was watching that gold trade. Darn. So I may take the YM range trade because I'm not seeing a great magnet opportunity. The magnet opportunity is already done. Let's get off of oil. Oil had a great open. We have to change our oil setups to MNQ. MNQ 0926. The markets are very heavily negative again. All right. So let's change our oil setups to MNQ, the magnet. No problem there. Stop of 100. And MNQ magnet is the new label. All right. Choose the account you're trading in. And then the MNQ reverse continue. Same thing. Number of targets. Choose your stop. Relabel it. It's not an oil reverse continue now. It's an MNQ reverse continue. And we need to load our 925 pre-market open MNQ breakout trade. So I'm loading that. It's called pre. We're going to right click and rename it today's date to keep it current. All right, so our pre-market open MNQ 924.59. We're going to make the first two numbers 0. We'll check the brackets. 30 is the bracket. Target of 25, target of 68, stop of 75. And, Francis, that's funny. And target one stop move will be break even. We're going to put our charts on sim. Apply and OK. Put the chart trader on sim. Spread the chart a little bit. Turn on the 00 time to look at our
Order
bracket.
submitted.
And we have a perfect bracket for trading. Not too
Order
far away
canceled.
from its other bracket. So now we'll go back to our breakout trade. Put the time to the correct time, 924.59. The bracket's 30. Targets of 25 and 68 with a stop of 75.
US crude futures rising over 3% to around $81.64,
Put it on the chart
which is
you're
its highest level
trading
since
on.
June 15th.
The MNQs have done decent in the morning. Do I want to trade funded this morning? So let me think. I'm trading funded on the RTY. I mean, we could trade it. We could trade
In
funded
5
this
minutes time
morning.
now at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, we see the release of the US industrial
MNQ
production month over month for June. Forecast
69
0.2% on the
is our
prior
funded account.
0.1%, with a range of 0.6 to
One of
minus
them.
0.3% expected. Capacity utilization forecast
So just put
76.2%,
our setups
expected
on
to
that
remain
account.
unchanged. Manufacturing output month over month forecast 0.1% on the
And then
prior
that's where we'll
0%,
put our
and
chart trader.
industrial production year
Okay,
over year saw a prior read of
925.
1.87%.
We shall see our pre-market open. So let's put our magnet on, reverse continue, pre-market open. Now, on that pre-market open, we also need to load our 930 open. One thing that Trump said last night, which was the stupidest thing I've ever heard, he said the Chinese stole all the voter rolls. Actually, the voter rolls are public information. They didn't have to steal them. It's not like classified information. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that the President of the United States would make a speech trying to denigrate our election systems. It's beyond comprehension. It doesn't make sense. Why would anyone do that if you love America? Why would you make America look bad in front of everyone and not really have much proof? Anyway, let's see the proof. I want to see the proof. Loading that second breakout trade. So that's a 930 breakout. I just want to see the proof. MNQ new open. MNQ new open. I mean, the networks wouldn't even cover it. I mean, that tells you something. Destruction of institutions is a horrible legacy. Destruction of institutions. That's the legacy here. Terrible. Terrible. If you really think there's fraud, the FBI investigates privately, quietly. If there's real people doing fraud and you tell them you're going to start looking for them, they're going to hide more. It just makes no sense. MNQ new open. MNQ new open. Right click and rename it. 717. And I'm just leaving it. It's a bracket of 30. It's a bracket of 30. 20 and 100 on the targets. Stop of 125. BE on the target stop move. And we'll put that on our funded account. YM open range is the trade I'm going to take
1
this
minute
morning
remaining,
on the
Charlie,
YM.
US industrial production month
Because
over
I
month.
just, now industrial production is coming out now. Watch the RTY, watch the YM, MNQ, industrial production.
Voice news disconnected.
Gold is what I would really watch on this report, honestly. But let's see if there's any movement. Just want to make sure I put my setups on, all right? So the MNQ, 20 seconds for the report. The YM, make sure the YM is on the right account. And then the RTY needs to be on the right account. Everything seems to be in the right place. Does anyone need help with any of the setups? Does anybody need me to go over any of the setups? Okay, 9:15 industrial production capacity utilization came out. You could see it's just chopping on the MNQ. The MNQ was making new lows before the news. The news is negative, all right? Is it
So the
horribly
per hour was
negative?
revised down to
No,
76.1%
it's not
as well.
horrible negative
Manufacturing
news.
outputs month over month at 0%,
It's a little bit
0%,
worse than
lower than
expected.
forecast, 0.1%.
And the MNQ's popping up on it. Now, it's not responding to the news is the honest truth. That news does not move the market. We're going to get ready for Michigan later. All right. That's a trade. After the market opens, we'll start to get ready for University of Michigan. We have a DMM. All right. Yeah, let me go over this YM range. So the YM open range, it's the same as the RTY. That's what has tested well. The YM range. Start the range at 925.00. 6 ticks above, 6 ticks below. Show the range graphics on chart. End the range at 930.00. Target 1
Now
is
posted the US
10,
industrial
target 2
production
is
and capacity
20.
utilization
I
June
do
reports
use
on
a
the feed
stop of
for those interested.
35.
Also keep in mind we did see just
25
ahead of
is
the data
acceptable.
release there, the
That
release
was
of
the
a joint
original
statement from
spec.
France and Germany, deepening cooperation in
All
areas
right.
like defense, space, and critical minerals. We've posted a summary of that on the feed if you're
That's the
interested.
YM setup. And since we're very far from all levels this morning, I may trade that on the YM. instead of looking for an automated magnet. We missed the magnet. It made the new low. That was the trade. The YM triggered early this morning. Now, Sander didn't miss the magnet. He made money on it. The MNQ 925 setup. Okay. MNQ, the pre-market open setup. $924.59 trigger. 30 on the bracket. Target of 25. Target of 68. Stop of 75. I would not rush on target one stop move. Okay? You don't, I mean, I have mixed feelings. You know, we lost money the other day. I always use that target one stop move. I just find I'll trail if I hit my first target. If I'm watching the setup, I will normally trail. All right? If the YM pulled up 50 points from here, I might do the magnet of the low for a retest of the low.
The senators released the text of a bill to sanction Russian oil buyers.
All right, we still have a bit of time. So we're really just watching. We've gotten a couple of long signals on the RTY, and we got a long signal on the YM. You notice I'm not jumping into longs this morning, this close to the open, because the markets are so negative. That's my reasoning behind signals, all right? If we were in a different scenario, I might be interested in taking a signal before the open. Okay? Making sure my chart traders are on the right accounts.
So in the text of the senators' bill on sanctioning Russian oil buyers, the bill would tariff the top 5 purchasers of Russian oil.
Now, the Save America Act. So what they don't tell you and what they're hiding is it requires identification that millions of people don't have easy access to, even if they're citizens. Millions of people don't have their birth certificates or a passport. If they were being honest and forthright, make it an ID. It could be a picture ID that an average person has easy access to. Not an ID that you can fake, but an ID that the average person has, a driver's license, a state ID for SNAP benefits, etc. But the reason they're not passing it is because it's egregiously unfair and goes against everything that creates a good democracy. And that's why it hasn't been passing. And they don't tell the truth. Even the media doesn't report the truth. Neither side tells the truth anymore. You got to get your truth. Where do you get your truth? Where do you get your truth? Type in where you get your truth. Who do you watch? Who do you listen to get real news? What do you do? Type it in. Absolutely. Federal government, no control whatsoever over voting. It's states only. States only. That's how it works. X is corrupted. Come on. X is corrupted. It's fun. X is fun, but it's corrupted. Certainly a lot of good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff everywhere, but totally corrupted. 2.5 minutes for our 925. We post on X. I post on X 3 to 5 times a week. It took me months to get rid of all the trash that was being posted to our site, our ID. There was so much trash. I mean, just trash. When you say the source, like give an example, Alan, what do you mean? Watching the markets just drop dead again today. Markets are dropping dead. I don't let the market movement determine whether or not I'll take a market open trade. I will take the market open trades no matter what. I am going to take that YM open trade. I'm going to turn it on. Make sure I'm in the right place. YM open range. I'm on the right account. I want to take that because I don't have a real magnet level trade at the moment. If we get a signal trade, we can still take it. There's some interesting newsletters out there that are non-viewpoint letters. Like there's a newsletter called 1440 that's kind of interesting. Um, if I was president, I would, well, first thing I would do is Fox News well, first the Murdochs would be immediately deported, instantly deported for treason, in my humble opinion. Fox News shut down. They would lose their license in 1 second. No license. Due to treason. All right, let's go. 9, we got, here comes our, now, I am a comedian, so we'll strike that as being comedy. 925, 925, we're going to get our orders.
Order submitted.
There's our
Order
breakouts.
filled.
Immediately hit our first target, but I'm closing it.
filled.
Why am I closing it? Because it left me in the trade in a funded account with no stop. All right. I know it left me with no stop, so it made money. I knew it was a profitable trade, but I closed it because it's a very fast moving trade and I wanted my profit. All right. It's funded. I'll take $100, but it was so fast it didn't get all the orders placed. That's why that can happen. Pre-market open, removing it. All right. Pre-market open, removing it. Now, you can also check my SIM account is negative. All my other accounts are positive right now. So that's our first funded trade so far of the day. All right. I'm just checking to make sure there's no price movement in the account. Normally, before I leave in the morning, I right-click Chart Trader on every account, prop account that I trade, and I cancel all orders as long as nothing's frozen. I cancel all orders and flatten everything before I leave in the morning. If you get weird data feed behavior, you should go to RTrader. Make sure your RTrader has no orders hanging around. All right? You should do that. You should do that. All right. Our breakout 930 open. Now you can check your bracket. by putting the first two numbers on the time to 0. Put the charts on sim. No foreign person would be allowed to own a news network in this country if I was president. I don't care what country they're from.
Order submitted.
Okay, there's
Order
our
canceled.
brackets for the 9:30 trade. Now I'm going to right click. And I'm thinking, do I even want to trade in a funded account? I guess I will. Put the trade back on at 9:29.59. 9:29.59. Apply it. Okay it. And we are on 69. Think about this. If you make, oh no, 100 a day is not enough. You need to make, if you make $300 a day in your prop account, well, figure this. In an eval, you should try to pass as quickly as possible. You don't want to spend months messing around with evals. You want to pass them reasonably quickly. Why? First of all, most evals don't have a lot of rules, okay? So you can do all sorts of trades, take all sorts of risk to pass an eval. I'm not saying trade stupid, but I'm saying you don't want to take 3 months to pass an eval. You don't, ideally, you
1 minute
never
now
want to
until we
get
see the
charged
markets on
again
open
for
imbalance.
the eval, if you can avoid it. I think your goal should always be within 30 days to pass your eval. So you need, if it's a Bullinox 50,000 account, you need to make more than 300 a day if you were gonna, if you had 30 trading days, because you need $3,600 in profit to get a payout in a Bullinox $50,000 account. And I'm not saying that's bad or good. It is what it is. That's fine. That's what you need. And then you can request $1,000 payout. So you have to
10
make
seconds.
3,600 bucks. 10 seconds. I'm watching the RTY.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order
And of
fi-
course
order
I'm
submit-
watching
order sub-
Markets
the
on
order
open
filled.
imbalance.
MNQ.
S&P 500 sell side 115 million. Nasdaq 100
Order-
sell side
order
51
filled.
million.
RTY
Dow 30
target
sell side
1
171
reversal.
million. Mag
I'm
7
okay
sell
with
side
that.
33 million.
MNQ blasted through both targets. Beautiful trade. YM, did it do a target 1 reversal? Or no, the YM was a stop. The YM, everything I do on the YM for the past 2 weeks has been pretty lousy.
Order submitted.
Taking a scalp short on the YM, I'll probably get stopped.
Order filled.
And I'm stopped. And I am stopped. I'm
Order
not
submitted.
giving up on the short side on the YM. I think it's going to push a little bit. I think it's going to push a little bit. My stop was small. Now, I could be wrong. You know, there's no guarantee. It's a prop.
Netflix shares falling 11.4% after
a
the
prop.
company
It's
forecasted
not
their
my fun,
Q3
and I'm
revenue
wrong.
below
All right,
estimates
I'm
and cut
clearly
back on
wrong
viewership
on the
data.
Order filled.
clearly wrong on the YM. So now I'm going to wait on that account. Darn it. My funded accounts are both positive. I still care that my evals, my scalping is not great. I've not been scalping. I've been scalping
As
oil
is President
well,
Macron says,
but
we
I
are
have
facing
not been
aggressive trade war
scalping
from the Chinese side.
the YM well this week. I just haven't been. So we're going up.
Order
So
submitted.
let's take outside the bottom of the range. Let's take the
The
retrace.
Philadelphia Semiconductor Index is set to enter a bear
Let's take the
market.
retrace. See if we
SpaceX
could get a
shares are
little
falling
bit back.
3.3% as the company's
Move our
Starship
stop to
rocket
safety.
aborts before liftoff.
Okay. Let's get our
Apple now
money
surpassing
back
Nvidia
a
to
little
become
bit.
the world's most valuable company.
Keep going up and I'll keep trailing. Break the wick and I'll add to my trail. Break the wick. It just barely broke the wick, but not quite. Break the wick.
Order filled.
All right, we got back about 370 on that trade. Now I'm going to wait. NQ is selling down. I'm not jumping now into another scalp on the YM. I just want to make sure I have enough money in that account to trade University of Michigan. RTY did give a signal at the low, but it's a little bit, it's not the account that I scalp in, especially now. That account is getting closer and closer to a possible payout. It's not there yet. I think it's like 580 away. And I'm a little bit concerned about RTY scalping. It looks like that might have been a good signal. The YM was a good signal, and I got half of it. Look at the NQ getting ready to make a low. I'm not giving back my MNQ funded money. All right, I'm almost 200 positive in my MNQ funded account. I'm going to get rid of my
France's
MNQ
President
breakout.
Macron
We
adds that
won
France has
on the
never been so
MNQ
aligned with Germany on
funded.
China. After the
MNQ
opening gate here, we're
magnet,
seeing US stocks extending their fall.
MNQ
The
reverse
Nasdaq now down
continue.
2%.
I'm just going to change the account for scalping. I'm not scalping this morning on a Friday in my funded account. Not willing. You don't have to give back the money if you don't want to. I'll happily scalp in my prop eval. Because what's the worst that
SpaceX is
happens?
set to wipe $1 trillion
$19
from
and
its
I
peak
get a
value
new
after
one.
a now 38% drop.
$19 and I get a new one. Okay? You have to know where to trade, which account. It's very, very important. Don't blow your funded accounts. There's no reason to blow a funded account. If you're trading the best of the best events in your funded account, you should not be blowing it up. Now, things happen, but I can't stress that enough. You have to walk away from your funded accounts after you make a little bit of money in them. The hardest thing to do is fear of missing out in an account. Anybody who disagrees with me, I'm totally open to discussing this. If you think I'm wrong, please. I'm not a genius. YM is darn negative. Are you going to get a push to the VWAP? Now, I would love to get a VWAP short out of the YM. I'd love to get a push to the VWAP and then a short signal YM. I would take that short on the YM. But I don't know if the YM can get to the VWAP. That's 100 points away. It's 100 ticks. Yeah, it's 100 points away. I don't think it's going to get there. Right now, it's bullish, but it's slow, if you see what I mean. It's pushing up, but it's not. It's trying. It's trying. NQ's making new lows. YM is coming off the new lows. I'm waiting for that magnet signal. It needs to get 3 ticks to the VWAP if it can do it. If it can do it, that's the setup I'm looking for. Now I'm going to get off my RTY. All right. I'm just going to close my RTY. I'm done with RTY for the morning. Made a small profit, and I'm okay with that. And that's important, to be able to walk away from a small profit on a funded account. We're going to get a signal on this YM. I do not believe the YM is going to keep going up. Up, 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 and up. I don't think so. I'm putting my MNQ on gold, getting ready for reverse, preliminary University of Michigan. Preliminary, come on, keep going YM. Go to that VWAP. Now, of course, it would have been nice to take that long. Gold. Gold pushing, pushing, pushing.
Ukraine's military say that they struck a Russian refinery in the Yaroslavl region.
Do I want to be really crazy? Really crazy and take a long in gold? No. I'm going to take a short. I see how bullish this YM is. But if it generates a short signal and the momentum changes, I'm taking it.
Order submitted.
I'm looking for a gold scalp here to the upside. I may be sorry that I did this.
Order
Okay,
filled.
I just closed it. Just took $100 out of that. $100 out of gold. I'm waiting for that YM setup. Gold's going to the high of day, for heaven's sake. Lord, oh Lord of mercy. That was the trade to just stay in. Gold VWAP, beautiful magnet. For people that were watching gold, gold really. What's interesting about gold is that it is in an interestingly tight range. Now, I'm not getting my darn net change display, and that makes me so aggravated since they've done that new Ninja update. You don't get the darn net change display sometimes to work. It's really, really aggravating. It's not us. That's not us generating a net change display. And putting it back on the chart doesn't help. It doesn't make any difference. Now I'm a little bit concerned about the YM because it's, it's really, really, really broke the VWAP like a bat out of hell, right? Like a bat out of hell. Just going up, up, up. Why? Why? I'm not seeing anything in the news to make the markets burst up like that. I mean, we just missed that great YM trade. Nitin, I don't even trade on I wouldn't even trade on a payout day. Personally, what if you get frozen orders, I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to trade on a payout day. Does anybody else have that occasional problem with the net change display? I'm going to have to talk to their tech support. Now I'm not so fast taking a short. You're not going to get a VWAP short signal now anyway. So now it's a question of, are you going to get a high of day? And then would you take that reversal? If the YM got to the high of day, I would absolutely take the reversal. Why? Because the YM is still negative on the day. Now, here's something weird that I'm noticing. The net change display is not working. I'm going to reboot my Ninja. It's not changing. Let's reboot Ninja. I understand, Nitin. I understand sometimes you have rules that make you have to trade on a payout day. Francis, you don't have any problems with it? Since these recent Ninja Trader updates, the net change display has been unreliable for me regularly. Regularly. Now it's working. Okay, the YM range is gone. Don't need it. So now we're going to turn. I'm watching gold because I'm going to trade gold on Michigan, University of Michigan. All right. Lewis, you've been having trouble all week. Oh, good, 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 Sander. Good, Sander, that you made the money back. Sander, between you and me, I like the RTY range the best. Glad you got most of it back. There's nothing worse than having a positive cash day and losing it all on a trade. There's nothing worse than losing cash in a cash account. I don't care what anybody says. Nothing is worse. Losing a
Nasdaq 100
great
extending
funded
its drop to a
account
session
would
low
be
down
terrible,
2.7% now.
but it's just not as bad as losing a cash account. So, Lewis, you've been having trouble. So I rebooted Ninja and it worked. So that YM signal was a little bit close to the open for my liking, but had the filtering been a little bit higher, that was an awesome signal. Awesome signal. All right, let's look at our DMM for University of Michigan. I want to be honest, it's a difficult trade that has not been making enough money. It's been very, very inconsistent. I'll show you why. If you look at gold, the spike sheet
SK Hynix ADRs are falling below their
on the University
$149
of
listing
Michigan.
price for the first time.
Look at gold on the spike sheet. 122 ticks last month, 28 and 22, 2 months prior. Then it was 190, 100, and then another time 90. And then 2 months before that, January and December, it was 24 and 21. How do you trade a trap trade on that? You can't. Well, I did set up a trap trade setup. If we get a big move on gold, I'm going to trade a trap, but it has to be a huge move. Otherwise, I'm not going to get filled. That's how I approached it this quarter. Or I'm watching that YM. I will take that signal short if it tests the high. I will. I will. If it reverses here, you won't get a signal. The ES, we have a trap. it's more stable. But if the markets are moving in one direction now all of a sudden, then you could get stopped out very easily on the ES. But you could see you had 18 ticks, 15 ticks, 29, 27. So you're setting back over a year ago, you had much bigger ES moves. But over the past year, the biggest move, if you go back as far as last August, the biggest move was 37 ticks. But I'm ignoring August, and our ES setup would work, would give you trade management 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. 10 months of safe trade management. Okay? So there is an ES setup. I'm only watching the YM because I'd really like it to test the high and give me a short signal. I would take it. I would take it. It may struggle to get there. It may not get there until the news. May not get there until the news. So I'm going to put a third extra chart up for the ES. So the decision is trade the ES, or trade gold. I think the ES, I think gold, believe it or not, today is safer. Why do I think gold is safer? Because we won't get filled if it's not a big move. So I think gold is safer. Looking at the ES, it's been bursting like an animal also. Okay? So
Germany's
there
Chancellor
is
Merz on a nuclear deterrent says
plenty
we
of
may need
risk.
to adjust to a new world.
Sander, what I don't like is momentum is now changing. We're going to get no short signal. If you put on ARS standalone, we'll get a signal on the YM, but I'm adding higher filtering on it because I don't want that signal. I really want it to test the high. If it doesn't test the high, I don't think I want to take the trade. I think it's too risky because you could get in and it could then decide it's still going to test the high. But if you put it on ARS standalone, you'll get a signal without a level being tested.
In 10 minutes time now at
When
the
you
top
get
of the hour,
momentum
we see the
changes,
University
you'll
of
get
Michigan
signals.
survey data, July prelim. Sentiment forecast at 51 on the prior 49
So
spot
the
5,
ES
with a
trap,
range of 52 spot 1 to 49
I think it
expected.
presents a little
The
bit
one-year
too much
inflation
risk.
expectations forecast at 4 spot 4% from the prior 4 spot 6.
So the
5-year
gold
inflation
trap.
expected to remain unchanged at 3 spot 3%. For the breakdown, the expectations
Okay, Francis.
forecast at 51 spot
Have a
9
great
on the prior
weekend.
50 spot 7, and
See you next
conditions
week.
forecast 48 spot 7 on
See
the
you
prior
next week.
47 spot 7.
Our gold trap, I do not recommend the gold breakout on this. The gold trap, 55 and 80. 55 and 80. Actually, we did it on micro gold.
The
And that
S&P
makes
500 now
sense.
pairs its
We
drop
set
to
it up for
1%,
micro gold.
had been down as much as around 1 spot 4.
Gold is, I think gold, it did not test the high yet. Do I want to blow this account up before we even get to the trade? Gold is a long here. That's the question. Gold is a long. But I'm not set up for gold. I'm set up for the MNQ. So I got to put my chart on micro gold. Or I'll blow up that account in a second because I'll be trading too many contracts. So let's get micro gold set up. I think it makes sense. So we'll change the magnet, 2 contracts, a 60 tick stop. I don't mind a big stop. -3 on the target. That's fine. On the target, yep. And label it MGC magnet. Apply it.
Germany's
Change
Chancellor
your
Merz says we
breakout
are seriously
from
examining
an
nuclear
MNQ
deterrence offer
breakout
made by France. We
to
might eventually lead
contracts.
to new
50
doctrine, but it's
target,
far too early to say that
50
now.
stop is fine. And we'll label that MGC reverse continue. I said breakout, you know what I mean. Reverse continue, apply it. And then we got our trap trade. And that's our main trade. All right. Micro gold. It's a 50 stop. 959.55 trigger. 959. We got the short on the YM. On the ARS standalone. Right? That's not when I wanted it. That's not when I wanted it. I'm waiting because it's got a green candle. 959.55 on the trap trigger. Tier 1 is 55, tier 2 is 80. I don't think we're going to get filled on gold. 55 and 80, label it trap. GC, I'm not willing to trade this funded, you all, so keep that in mind. Not willing to trade it funded. I made my money this morning funded. The YM, is it giving us our signal before it gets to the high? That's what I don't know. And we're close to the news. I really will take the signal, but not unless it tests the high. I really feel strongly that that's the right way to take that trade. If it tests the high. Now, I'm in the same account, YM and micro gold, so I might not be able to do all the trades at once. There are limits to the number of contracts. So I have my trap trade set up, and we did set up a reverse continue and a magnet, all right, on micro gold. I think the ES has too much risk because of all the upward movement. So we're just going to watch the ES on the trap, all right? If you wanted to take the ES trap, 18, you could do it as an MES, 18 and 35 with a stop of 20. 18 and 35 on the tiers, stop of 20. 959.55 is the trigger, all right? The YM ARS standalone worked.
In 5 minutes' time now, at the top of the hour, we see the release of the
Unless it
University of
changes
Michigan survey
direction
data,
right now
the
and
July
goes and makes a
prelim
new
read.
high,
For sentiment,
that
forecast
trade
51
worked.
prior to 5, with a range of 52.1 to 49 expected. 1 year inflation forecast at 4.4% on the prior 4.6%. 5-year inflation expected to remain unchanged at 3.3%. Expectations forecast at 51.9 from the prior 50.7,
Sandra, have a great
and conditions
weekend.
forecast at
You too.
48.7 on the
Also,
prior 47.7.
you made money today, Sandra? When all was said and done? All right, Sandra might have gone. I believe he made money in his cash account today. What if you made $150 a day on average? That would be $750 a week. That's almost $3,000 a month. That's not bad for the average person. That's not bad for the average person. Probably pays most people's mortgages and then some and their rent, right? You could target $100 a day in a cash account, for instance. If you average $100 a day, for real, average 100 a day, it's 500 a week. It's $2,000 a month. That covers 75% of most people's rent, mortgage, car payment, right? A car payment. Notice the YM. Notice why I didn't want to take the short early. Also because we're near news. All right. I
Nasdaq
believe if
100
we
also
get to the
premium
high,
stock, now
especially
down
if we get
2%.
to the
It
PP,
had been down as much as 2.7.
the YM is a short. Although it's almost positive on the day. However, you still had a very negative day that can go back to being negative again very, very, very easily. Even if only for a short period of time. I'm not looking for the whole day for it to go back to being negative. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, you get a move in most of the indexes that gives an opportunity. The worry about the gold trap trade is that gold may just want to go straight up to the high of day. That will blow the that would maybe not blow the trap. Let's see where we're getting filled when our orders show up. Remember, our tiers are pretty big. 98, no, it's 12, 120 ticks to 140 ticks. We're about 140 ticks away from the high, I believe. Yeah, 150. So, no, we're okay actually on this trap. The high is not going to kill us. No matter what, if you're trading this trap trade on micro gold, your stop has to be above the high of day. Has to be.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with the
Do not
University
put
of
your
Michigan
stop or
sentiment
allow your
prelim.
stop to be placed just under the high of day. That's asking to be stopped out. If you get filled short. Let's see if we even get filled. There's multiple news on this report. Current conditions, consumer expectations, which is important, and sentiment, and the inflation expectations. This report has become meaningful this past year, more meaningful than it used to be. And I am watching the YM. I want that short.
10 seconds.
I think that's the best opportunity left this morning. I think that's what could
Order
save
submitted.
my trade. Notice our stop is above the high of day. I want it a little bit higher.
54 spot 4, 54
The news
spot
is
4,
out.
higher than forecast at
It's
51.
better than
1 year inflation
expected.
expectations at 4.2%, 4.2% lower than forecast, 4 spot
And the inflation
4%. 5 year
expectations are
3.3%,
not bad.
3.3% as
But
expected.
as I
Expectations
thought,
at 54, 54
we're not
which is
getting
higher
a
than forecast,
fill.
51.9, and conditions at
The
54
first
spot
move
9,
was up.
54.9, higher than forecast,
So I have to
48.7.
be filled short on gold, not long. So I'm getting ready to cancel my gold trap. If it moves up and fills me short, I'll allow it. I will not allow a long fill because the first move was up. Now, normally I wait a full minute on this type of a trap trade. You could see we made the tiers big on purpose for safety. Today, there's not that big of a move out of gold. It's just not that big. That's okay.
And we've posted the University of Michigan
I would
Sentiment
rather-
Survey July prelim on the feed for those interested.
So it's over a minute, no fill. Notice the ES just kept moving in one direction so far. So I would cancel gold. It's been a minute and a half with no fill. I don't
Order
want to get
canceled.
filled on the
US
wrong
stocks have all
direction.
changed after the
Okay.
University of Michigan's prelim
I don't want to
consumer
get
sentiment
filled on the
report.
wrong direction. My eye is on the YM for the test of that high. The news is very good. University of Michigan. It's very good news. So we're watching the YM to see if we get our test of the high. That's what I want to see. Would I be interested in taking a YM short here with my stop above the PP? 700, it's a 140 tick stop. No, it's a little bit too much risk. 140 ticks is just a little bit too much. Even if it worked, it's just too much risk for the average bear. Hey, Yogi, right? It's a little bit too much risk. Let's see what the YM does on this news. It should go make a new high. It really should. The ES on this report, it went up 31 ticks. We would have absolutely had a trap. Probably the ES looks like it would have been a solid trap. You never know. This is not easy, folks. We get some right, we get some wrong. Uh, but right
So,
now, it
so Fed Hammock
you'd be
on
negative.
LinkedIn says there's no conflict in
It
our
did not
mandate. Further
reverse
saying inflation is
enough.
too high and the
It
labour
did not
market is right
reverse
around my
enough.
level of
The
maximum
trap
employment. Furthermore, Hammock says
has
our
not worked
PCE
yet
now cash
on the
shows core
ES.
inflation at 3.3% after incorporating this week's data, and persistently high inflation is the bigger concern.
Somebody's saying persistently high
Hammock says, when
inflation is the big
formulating my policy
concern.
view, I consider the data as well as conversations I've
I
had
think,
with
is that
businesses and
Warsh
community
speaking?
leaders in the 4th Federal Reserve District.
The reflecting pool, so badly damaged by deranged vandals, has been emptied as the massive slash gets repaired. The massive slash. What kind of animal would do such a thing? I thought we had vandal proof material. It couldn't be cut. He said it couldn't be cut. That reflecting pool was installed improperly. Jesus, God in heaven. Just see reality. It was installed improperly. The repairs were done wrong. It's not that hard. It's a pool.
Hammock says, I'm hearing from conversations with business and
God
community
in
leaders that
heaven.
inflation isn't coming from only one source, it's broad-based. Business leaders point to energy costs and supply chain disruptions as
No,
factors,
that
but also
Olympian,
cite pressures
he
from
damaged the
insurance
reflecting pool.
and
That's
the
for
AI
sure.
data center buildup.
He
Hammock
damaged
says,
it.
at the same time, I'm seeing good growth numbers and stable consumer
Watching
spending.
that YM, folks. Watching that YM. Watching the YM. I believe gold is going
And
to
Fed
make a
Hammock
new
says, I'm seeing
high.
good growth numbers and stable consumer spending.
Order submitted.
I'm willing to test gold towards the PP here right now. Gold to the PP.
Fed Hammock adds that I'm hearing from businesses who say that they think we need to take action to curb inflation, and from
Gold
consumers
to
who
the
can't make
PP.
ends meet about a growing sense of despair.
If I can move my stop to safety, I will.
Order
All
filled.
right, so my idea, tiny win. I think gold is moving up.
Order submitted.
I'll try one more time. Gold to the PP. Momentum just changed to the upside. It's not a super big risk if it doesn't work. I think ultimately it's going to the high. Can we survive? Where should the stop be? Probably below the VWAP, but that's just, it might just be a little bit too much of a stop. I don't want to lose that much on it. So if my idea is wrong, I'm willing, I don't want to blow the account on being wrong when I'm waiting for the YM really. That's, I feel so sure about that YM trade. So give me a push in gold again. I'll move my stop again. Okay, now I've got a smaller stop. If it breaks the previous candle, If it breaks my current candle, I want a little bit bigger than that. It's acting bullish, but it's not pushing up the way I want it to. So it would be a tiny loss here if I'm wrong. If I'm right, we'll get the opportunity to move our stop to safety. So I'm okay leaving it where it is. Strictly an eval. I'm trying to build the eval back up with that YM trade. That's my goal. All right. Oh, I was almost getting ready to move the stop to safety. Nah, now I'm in safety. Now I am.
Order filled.
All right. You filthy animal. Gold's gonna wait. Gold's gonna wait. Come on, gold. You can see it's pretty choppy. The YM, it won't make a commitment. It's not making a commitment. Um, Momentum is 0. It's not strong on either side. Oh, I would be so happy if it touches the high of day here. Touch the high of day, get 3 ticks to the high of day, and then generate a signal, and I'm in. But so what, Calvin? So what? It doesn't have to be a political lie. That's all. If you screwed up preparing it, so what? Try again. That's all. It's the lying that is nauseating. People are slashing it. It's ludicrous, in my opinion. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see any video of anyone slashing it. Show me the video. And then, fine. Let me see the video of people slashing the pool. It's the same people that are stealing election ballots. It's the same guy. It's the same guy. He's got a big bag of election ballots on his back, and he's got a little blade knife. He's got a UPS blade knife, and he's slashing the reflecting pool with it, with a Santa Claus bag on his back with election ballots, stolen election ballots from immigrants. Yeah, yeah, that's what's going on. All right. It's crazy. Watching this YM, look, we're so close. So close. We got to get 3 ticks. I could make it 5 ticks by changing the strategy. It's gonna make the high. It's so close to the high. The YM is gonna make a new high. It's gonna change direction, and I'm gonna take that short, and I'm either gonna lose or win. I'm gonna take the short probably now anyway. If momentum changes, because I do think we came so close to it's gonna. I want it to test the high. That's what I want. That means 3 ticks away. 3 ticks away. Darn it! Come on! Darn it! Darn it! Darn it! Push, push, baby, push. Then your PP becomes very important. Now we're not going to get a signal unless it's on ARS now. That adds risk. It definitely adds risk. Come on. Go to the high of day. I'm not asking all that much. Micro gold. is pushing down. My idea did not work to get to the high. That doesn't mean it's not going, but it didn't go yet. The YM is just struggling to go above break even. That's why I'm willing to take the short. 61, you're about 60 ticks, 70 ticks stop above the PP if you entered short now. I would rather enter short when I have momentum on my side and after I've tested the high. It's way less risk. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I'm not taking a short until momentum changes. The best thing would be go to the PP, test it, and then change momentum.
The Dow Jones turns positive, erasing its earlier loss.
No momentum change yet. How crazy do you want to be? Do you want to break every rule and go short before momentum? No, I don't. I do, but I won't. Now I'm interested. Now I'm interested. Very interested. Very interested. Change momentum. If we're not getting a momentum change in the next couple of seconds on the squeeze, we're not going to get a signal for another minute. And maybe that's protecting us. That's fine. Look at the price. It's pushing up. Price is pushing up. ES, I wouldn't exactly say there's momentum. It's a little bit late.
Order submitted.
I'm taking it. My stop is going to go significantly above the VWAP. And I want a bunch of profit out of this. So let's see if the markets cooperate. The ES hit S1 and it has pulled back a little bit. I wouldn't exactly call it a huge reversal. All right. I could be wrong. But if I'm wrong, it's going to have to break the PP heavily. All right. There's our signal. But the minute we got the signal, we got a push up. Remember we talked about how you can add a contract? Sell a contract if I thought I was right. Oh, you filthy animal. I am not getting stopped out on this trade at that level. I'm just not. Right now, the momentum's against me. Right now, the ES is against me. I may be wrong. I really, really thought I was right. We certainly need the ES to help us out
S&P
here.
500 now pairs decline to 0.5%.
Have you ever heard a grown man cry?
Order filled.
You ever seen a grown man be crazy? All right. I added one contract to my short and I updated my targets and my stop. I do believe this is going to give us a retrace. I'd like $500 profit. But let's see. Right now it's pulling back without momentum. If we can get downward momentum, maybe we'll get a decent pullback. However, we're not getting a pullback on the ES. We're just not getting it. It might be that our Michigan news is too darn good. It might be too darn good. So, should I just exit this trade without blowing up the account? Probably. Probably. That's what I probably should do. If it breaks the previous open, that might be good enough. If I can get my stop to safety, I'd be pretty happy. Just barely to safety. Not dying to love that. I'd rather get my retrace. Don't go up, you filthy animal.
Order filled.
Only made about $70 on it. It's a problem, right? It's not giving us what we need. Would you do it again? You got a second signal. Second signal. I think it's just not doing it. I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong, and I got out with a small profit. I'm wrong and got out with a small profit. If it breaks the high again, then eventually it's going to pull back, but it could make 8 more new highs. The ES is not rolling over. Gold is chopping. I really thought my idea was perfect, but I wasn't really planning on bursting through the VWAP. Now you got momentum on your side. Your stop has to be above the new high. So that's not that big a stop. 50, 60 ticks. $700 trade. $700 trade. I'd rather wait for it to pop up. Now you're getting momentum. It's 2 minutes
Canadian
after
dollar
the
strengthens to a
signal.
1 month high against the US dollar.
The entry was at the PP. Darn it. Darn, darn, darn. Darn, darn, darn. Now you're getting in late. I'm not sure I want to do it. ES looks a little bit negative. Pull up.
Order submitted.
Let's go. Give me a drop. Give me 30 ticks. Give me 30 push-ups. Give me 30 push-ups. Let me move my stop to safety again. Pull down halfway here. Pull down to 60. Go to 60-ish. Go to 60-ish. Remember, the YM was down 450. It was down 450 points. Break the wick. Go to some profit. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Break the wick. Trail. Break the wick. Trail. If it pops up.
Order filled.
All right. $100 on that. This is a painful way to do it. Now you got to watch. Now the market's telling us maybe I don't want to go down in one fell swoop. Very difficult. Very difficult. I still think there's a retrace, but maybe we got the retrace. Look, look, it made a new high and it retraced quite a lot of ticks, but it choppy, choppy, choppy. 83 ticks of chop. And now it's above where we entered. Now you don't have signals anymore. ES is going up. I think these markets have decided they don't want to be so negative maybe anymore. Folks, I think I'm not recovering that account. Look, that account was down $1,000. It's down 440 now. It's not like we didn't get some of it back. Funded accounts, all of them made money. 2 funded accounts, RTY, small winner, MNQ, all of our 925, 930, both trades made money. All right. We gave it a good shot. Any questions before we go? Everybody have a great weekend. All right. Going to close the stream and remember to close it. Thanks for watching, everybody on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.